today we are going to talk about someone I feel like we haven't talked about a lot. We talked about him early on, but not much lately, and that is Dalibor Dvorský. So, what do we know about him?
Well, Dalibor Dvorský, here's the interesting. This is a guy whose stock's risen a lot over the last 18 months. And his performance at both the Hlinka under 18, where he was considered by many to be the best player on the Slovakian team. He was on the World Junior team when the World Juniors got canceled. He plays with men in the Swedish Elite League right now, playing as a centerman. He is an all-around 200-foot centerman. And when you look at this draft, you look at players like Leo Carlsson, and we talk about Connor Bedard all the time, that are flashy and unbelievable offensive players. Dalibor Dvorský is probably a more well-rounded 200-foot player that can also defend. His hockey IQ is extremely high. He can help on the offensive side of the puck, but the one knock on him right now is he may not have that elite skating, that powerful burst of skating stride. That might be something he needs to work on because he's playing as a centerman right now, and because of his skating, he may end up being a wing in the National Hockey League. But he's a name people need to know because everybody I've talked to, and I'll be honest, I've just seen highlights of the kid. So it's not fair for me to have an opinion. I have to go trust the opinion of others. His stock has risen because of what he has done over the last year and playing with men, and he will be an NHL player. And I've also heard from multiple sources this kid is going to go in the top 10. So with the Coyotes picking at 6, Dalibor Dvorský from Slovakia playing in Sweden is a name you need to know.
Yep. And as always, we turn to the draft experts. Chris Peter said he's a versatile center who takes care of his details off the puck. His value is most tied to his ability to score. Corey Proman has him projected as a bubble top and middle of the lineup player. His player comparable would be Ryan Strome, and he's dangerous inside the offensive zone. Excellent puck skills in small areas. So yeah, like you said, he'll be a top end NHL player and very, very well could go to the Coyotes at 6.
Yeah, I think it's, and when I had asked if this is a player that will be there at 12 for the Coyotes, everybody said no. He won't be there. He's so well thought of, and how quickly he moved up in the rankings over the last year, that he won't be there at 12. But we've seen this in drafts before. Things change. Like Shane Wright fell to 4 last year. So if this is a player, I don't know. I don't personally believe the Coyotes are taking him at 6. I don't have any inside information. Just my gut feeling is he's not. But if he does, he's a guy, we've said this before, they need to sprinkle this lineup with guys that fill different roles. I think he's going to be a left winger in the National Hockey League. I think he's got an incredible shot think of Dylan Guenther with a little more size with that shot and his ability to shoot from that right-hand circle off of the power play. Elite shot. Like, he can beat goalies clean with his wrist shot. I see him on the left side, and he might be a second or third line left winger, and that's okay. If he plays 800 to 1,000 games for your franchise and helps you win a cup, you're going to love Dalibor Dvorský. So I think the upside of him is huge. He's going to be a 200-foot guy. He's going to kill penalties. He'll be gone early in this draft, but there's a chance a player like this could slip to 12. I don't see him going to the Coyotes at 6. I'm still hopeful, and I'll bring up the name.
To 12.
And I like Ryan Leonard a lot. Yeah. I'm hopeful.
We talked about him yesterday.
Ryan Leonard's there, but if Dalibor Dvorský becomes an Arizona Coyote, I think this is another player that's going to slot in and help fill out the roster.
Absolutely. So we're going to carry on our prospect spotlights daily. If there's a guy you want us to talk about specifically, and we're specifically doing guys that are ranked in the 5 to 20 range. We're not talking about Bedard. We're not talking about Fantilli because that's just not realistic for the Coyotes. Let us know. Someone in our Discord wanted us to talk about Dvorský, and we had already decided we were going to before we saw that. But we definitely want to hear from you, so let us know on Twitter and in the Discord.
And the big thing with these prospects, Lee and I are not scouting experts. We're not sitting here going, gosh, listen to our rankings, because we don't have them.
We don't have rankings.
We don't watch the players. What we want to do is, by the time that we're hungover, at the draft in Nashville, that you've heard of these names, so that when Bill Armstrong and their nicely attired Coyote staff goes to the podium in Nashville, that you go, oh, I've heard of that guy. I've heard of Ryan Leonard, but Dalibor Dvorský. That, okay, now they're starting to become everyday names, because we've talked about Connor Bedard, Leo Carlsson, Fantilli. We've talked about those names. Everybody knows those names. So who are the guys from 5 to 20? We're going to keep giving you those names every day, so that when Bill Armstrong gets to the podium and announces the name, you go, God, I've heard of that guy.
Yep.
And Dalibor Dvorský and Ryan Leonard are the first two that are on our list. And if they get these guys and they're Coyotes, it's a good day.